Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. How are you today? Today I am here with Nora, and today we are going to talk about a very big question. Is money really enough to make you happy?
Hello, everyone. I am very happy to be here today. Let's start our conversation.
This is a big topic, Nora. I think every person in the world thinks about this question sometimes.
Yes, that is true. Everyone wants money, but does money really make us happy?
That is the question for today. Let's talk about it together.
I'm excited. This topic is very interesting to me.
Before we start, let's do a small warm-up. Nora, what does the word happy mean to you?
Good question. For me, happy means feeling good inside. It means you feel peaceful and satisfied.
I like that answer. For me, happy means enjoying my life and my time with people I love.
That is a lovely answer too.
Okay, let's talk about money now. Nora, do you think about money often?
Honestly, yes. I think about money almost every day. I think about bills, food, and my future.
I understand. Many people think about money every day too. It is a normal part of life.
Yes, money is important. We need it for food, a house, clothes, and many other things.
That is true. Without money, life can be very difficult.
Exactly. So some people say money is very important for happiness.
But other people say money is not the most important thing. What do you think?
I think it is a little bit of both. Let me explain more later.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's talk about our own experience first.
Sure. When you were a student, did you have a lot of money?
No, not really. I had very little money when I was a student.
Me too. I remember I had a small budget every month.
Yes, life was simple then. But were you happy at that time?
Actually, yes. I was very happy, even with little money.
That is interesting. Why do you think you were happy?
I think I was happy because I had good friends, good food, and simple fun.
I feel the same way. I remember eating cheap noodles with my friends, and we were laughing all night.
Yes, those simple moments were very special.
So even without much money, we had happy memories.
Exactly. Money was not the main reason for our happiness at that time.
That is a good point. Let's continue this idea in the next part.
Yes, I am ready. This is a great start to our conversation.
Okay, listeners, please think about your own life too. Were you happy with little money?
Please write your answer in the comments below. We want to know your story.
Now let's go deeper into this topic.
Yes, let's continue.
Let's talk about basic needs first. What do you think are basic needs in life?
Basic needs are things we cannot live without. For example, food, water, a house, and clothes.
Yes, exactly. These are the most important things.
If we do not have money for these things, life becomes very stressful.
That is very true. When people cannot pay for food or rent, they feel a lot of worry.
So in this way, money can definitely bring some happiness. It can remove stress.
I agree. When you have enough money for your basic needs, you feel safe.
Yes, feeling safe is very important for happiness.
Let's give an example. Imagine a person who cannot pay their rent this month.
Oh, that sounds very stressful. They will worry all day and all night.
Exactly. They cannot relax. They cannot enjoy small things in life.
So money in this situation is very important for peace of mind.
Now, let's imagine another person. This person has enough money for rent, food, and bills.
Okay, I am imagining this person.
Do you think this person feels happier than the first person?
Yes, probably. This person does not worry about basic needs. They can relax more.
That is a good point. So we can say money helps happiness up to a certain point.
Yes, I agree. Money can solve many problems related to stress and safety.
But here is an interesting question. What happens after a person has enough money for their needs?
That is a good question. Does more money always mean more happiness?
That is exactly the question many researchers wanted to answer.
Oh, really? Did scientists study this question?
Yes, there is a famous idea in psychology about this.
Please tell me more. I am very curious now.
Okay, so some researchers studied people's income and their happiness levels.
What did they find?
They found that money does increase happiness, but only up to a certain amount.
Interesting. What happens after that amount?
After that point, more money does not add much more happiness.
Wow, that is surprising. So, a very rich person is not always much happier than a middle-class person.
Exactly. Once your basic needs and some comfort are covered, extra money brings less extra happiness.
That makes sense to me. I have heard stories about rich people who are still unhappy.
Yes, there are many stories like that. Rich people can have money problems too, in a different way.
What kind of problems?
For example, stress about losing money, family problems, or feeling lonely.
Oh, that is true. Money cannot buy good relationships or true friends.
Exactly. Money cannot buy love, friendship, or good health.
That is a very important point.
Let's talk about health for a moment. Can money buy good health?
Money can help. It can pay for good doctors and good food.
Yes, that is true, but money cannot guarantee perfect health.
That is correct. Even rich people can get sick.
So health depends on many things, not only money.
I agree. Lifestyle, sleep, and stress also matter a lot.
Great point. Let's move to another idea now.
Okay, I'm ready. This conversation is getting more and more interesting.
Let's talk about experiences and things. Do you prefer to spend money on things or experiences?
That is a great question. I think I prefer experiences now.
Really? Can you explain why?
Yes, when I was younger, I loved buying new things, like clothes and gadgets.
That is normal. Many young people love new things.
But now, I prefer to travel, or to have dinner with friends, or to learn something new.
Why do you think your feelings changed?
I think experiences give me better memories. Things become old, but memories stay with me.
That is a beautiful way to think about it. What about you? Do you prefer things or experiences? I also prefer experiences now. I remember trips more than I remember old phones or clothes.
Exactly. A new phone feels exciting for 1 week, and then it becomes normal.
That is so true. But a trip with family can make you smile for many years.
Yes, this is an important lesson about happiness and money.
So maybe the question is not only how much money, but also how we spend it.
I completely agree. The way we use money can affect our happiness a lot.
Let's talk about another idea. Have you heard the phrase, keeping up with the Joneses?
No, I have not heard that before. What does it mean?
It means trying to have the same things as your neighbors or friends to look successful.
Oh, I understand now. For example, buying an expensive car because your neighbor bought one.
Exactly. That is a perfect example.
I think this can make people very unhappy
Why do you think so?
because they are always comparing themselves to other people. They never feel satisfied.
That is a very important point. Comparison can be a big problem for happiness.
Yes, when we compare our life to others, we often feel worse, not better.
I agree completely. Social media makes this even more difficult today.
Oh, yes, social media. People see perfect pictures of other people's lives.
Exactly. But those pictures are not always the full truth.
That is very true. People usually only show their happy moments online.
So when we compare our normal life to someone's highlight life, we can feel unhappy.
This is a very important lesson for all of us.
Yes, let's remember, comparison can steal our happiness.
That is a powerful sentence. I will remember that.
Now, listeners, think about this. Do you compare your life to other people on social media?
Please write your thoughts in the comments. We are curious about your experience.
Okay, let's continue our conversation. There is more to talk about.
Yes, let's keep going. This topic has so many layers.
Now let's move to our learning section. I want to teach some useful vocabulary and grammar today.
Great idea. Learning new words is always helpful.
Let's start with the word wealthy. Do you know this word, listeners?
Wealthy means having a lot of money. For example, she is a wealthy businesswoman.
That is correct. It is similar to the word rich, but it sounds a little more formal.
That is a useful sentence.
Yes, many people use it every day, especially in news or formal writing.
Let's give another example.
Great idea. Here is an example. His family is very wealthy, but he still lives simply.
That is a good sentence. It shows that wealthy people can still have simple habits.
Exactly. Now let's learn the opposite word, broke.
Oh, I know this word. Broke means having no money at all, at least for a short time.
Correct. For example, I am broke this week because I paid all my bills.
That is very relatable. Many students say this a lot.
Yes, students often say I am broke near the end of the month.
It is true for me too sometimes.
Let's learn one more word, satisfied. What does satisfied mean?
Satisfied means feeling happy because something is enough or something is good.
Perfect explanation. For example, I am satisfied with my simple life.
That is a very nice sentence for our topic today.
Yes, this word connects perfectly with happiness and money.
Let's also learn materialistic. This word is a little longer.
Good idea. Materialistic describes a person who cares too much about money and things.
For example, he is very materialistic. He only cares about expensive brands.
That is a perfect example. This word is usually used in a negative way.
I understand. It shows that caring only about money or things is not always good.
Exactly. Now let's move to a small grammar point.
Okay, I am ready to learn.
Let's talk about comparatives like richer, happier, and more satisfied.
Okay, please explain.
For short adjectives like rich or happy, we usually add ER to compare two things.
So we say richer and happier?
Yes, exactly. For example, he is richer than his brother.
And happy becomes happier, right? We change the Y to I and add ER?
Perfect. You explained it very well.
What about longer words like satisfied or materialistic?
Good question. For longer adjectives, we usually use more before the word.
So we say more satisfied and more materialistic?
Exactly right. For example, she feels more satisfied with a simple life.
That is very clear. Thank you for explaining.
You are welcome. Let's give one more example together.
Okay, money can make life more comfortable, but not always more meaningful.
Wow, that is a beautiful sentence, Nora.
Thank you. I really believe that sentence is true.
Now let's talk about a very famous idiom, money can't buy happiness.
Yes, I have heard this idiom many times.
What do you think this idiom means?
I think it means money alone cannot give you a truly happy life.
Exactly. You need other things too, like love, friendship, and good health.
That is a very true idiom, in my opinion.
Let's learn another idiom, live within your means.
I'm not sure about this one. Can you explain it?
Of course, it means you should spend only as much money as you have or less.
Oh, I understand. So you should not spend more money than you earn.
Exactly right. For example, it is important to live within your means to avoid debt.
That is very good advice. Many people forget this idea today.
Yes, especially with credit cards. It is very easy to spend more than we have.
That is true. Credit cards can be helpful, but also dangerous.
I agree. Let's remember to be careful with money.
Yes, that is a great life lesson.
Now let's talk a little about pronunciation. Some money words can be tricky.
Oh, that is helpful. Please tell us.
Let's practice the word wealthy. The th sound is important here.
Yes, wealthy. We put our tongue between our teeth for the th sound.
Exactly. Let's say it slowly together. Wealthy, wealthy.
Wealthy, wealthy. Great practice.
Now let's try budget. Many learners say this word incorrectly.
Yes, the stress is on the first part, budget, not budget.
Perfect. Let's say it together. Budget, budget.
Budget, budget. This is very helpful pronunciation practice.
I am glad this is helpful. Pronunciation practice is important for speaking clearly.
Yes, I agree completely.
If you are enjoying this conversation, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
Yes, please support us. It helps us make more lessons like this.
Now let's continue our conversation about money and happiness.
Yes, let's go deeper into this topic.
Let's talk about giving money to others. Do you think giving money can make us happier?
Oh, that is an interesting idea. I have never thought about it deeply before.
There are studies that show giving money to others can make us happier than spending it on ourselves.
Really? That sounds surprising, but also beautiful.
Yes, it is true. For example, buying a gift for a friend can feel more rewarding than buying something for yourself.
I actually agree with this. I remember buying a small gift for my mother last year.
Oh, really? Please tell us more about that.
I bought her a simple scarf. It was not expensive at all.
That sounds sweet. How did you feel after giving it to her?
I felt so happy. Her smile made my whole week feel special.
Wow, that is a lovely story.
Yes, and honestly, I felt happier than when I buy things for myself.
That connects perfectly with the research we talked about.
It really does. Giving feels different from receiving in a good way.
I think this shows that relationships and kindness are also very important for happiness.
Yes, definitely. Money is a tool, but how we use it matters a lot.
That is a perfect summary. Let's remember this. Money is a tool, not the goal itself.
I love that sentence. I will remember it.
Let's also talk about charity. Do you think donating money to charity can bring happiness?
Yes, I believe so. Helping others often gives us a deep sense of purpose.
I agree. Purpose is a very important part of happiness.
Yes, when we feel our life has meaning, we usually feel happier overall.
That is very true. Money without purpose can feel empty sometimes.
Exactly. Some rich people say they feel empty even with a lot of money.
That is a common story. Money gives comfort, but purpose gives meaning.
This is such an important lesson for our listeners today.
Yes, I hope everyone remembers this idea.
What about you? Do you enjoy giving to others?
Yes, I really do. I try to help my friends and family whenever I can.
That is wonderful. I think kindness always comes back to us in some way.
I completely agree with that. Now, let's practice some grammar with conditional sentences. This is very useful for talking about money.
Okay, I am ready. I like conditional sentences.
Let's use this pattern. If I had more money, I would. This is called the second conditional.
Oh, yes. We use this pattern to talk about imaginary or unreal situations.
Exactly right. Let's make an example together. If I had more money, I would travel around the world.
That is a great dream. If I had more money, I would buy a small house near the beach.
Wow, that sounds wonderful. I can imagine that beach house.
Thank you. What else would you do if you had more money?
If I had more money, I would help my parents and support my community.
That is a very kind answer. It shows your values.
Thank you. Let's explain the grammar structure clearly for our listeners.
Yes, please explain it simply.
We use if plus the past simple tense and then would plus the base verb.
So the structure is if plus past simple, ... would plus base verb.
Exactly correct. For example, if I won the lottery, I would buy a new car.
That is a perfect example. Won is the past simple form of win, right?
Yes, that is correct. Win is an irregular verb.
Oh, let's talk about irregular verbs for a moment. This can be confusing for learners.
Good idea. Regular verbs usually add ed for the past tense, like walk becomes walked.
But irregular verbs change in a different way, like win becomes won.
Exactly. Another example is buy, which becomes bought, not buyed.
Yes, that is an important one. Many learners make mistakes with this word.
It is very common. Let's give a few more examples of irregular verbs related to money.
Okay, let's try. Spend becomes spent. For example, I spent all my money on books.
Perfect example. Another one is save. But wait, is save regular or irregular?
I believe save is regular. It becomes saved.
That is correct. For example, I saved some money last month.
Great. And what about lose? Is that regular or irregular?
Lose is irregular. It becomes lost. For example, he lost a lot of money in his business.
Oh, that is a sad example, but a very useful one for grammar.
Yes, unfortunately, losing money is a real part of life sometimes.
That is true. Let's remember, regular verbs add ed, but irregular verbs change differently.
Perfect summary. This is a very important grammar point for beginners and intermediate learners.
I think our listeners will find this very helpful.
I hope so too. Let's continue with a few more conditional examples for practice.
Sure, let's continue. What about, if I had a lot of money, I would build a school in my hometown?
That is a beautiful sentence, Nora. It shows a very kind heart.
Thank you. Education is very important to me.
I agree completely. Okay, listeners, now it is your turn. What would you do if you had more money?
Please write your sentence in the comments using the pattern, if I had more money, I would...
Yes, practice makes perfect. We would love to read your sentences.
This is a great way to practice grammar and share your dreams at the same time.
Let's move to another important idea now. Balance. Do you think balance is important with money?
Yes, definitely. I think balance is the key to a happy life.
Can you explain what you mean by balance?
Sure. I mean, we should not only work for money, and we should not ignore money completely either.
That makes a lot of sense. Both extremes can cause problems.
Exactly. If we only work for money, we might lose time with family and friends.
That is true. Some people work so much that they forget to rest or enjoy life.
Yes, and this can lead to stress, tiredness, and even health problems.
On the other hand, if we ignore money completely, we might struggle to pay for basic needs.
Right, and that also creates a lot of stress, as we talked about earlier.
So the best path seems to be somewhere in the middle.
Yes, I completely agree. Balance between work, rest, money, and relationships.
That sounds like very wise advice.
Thank you. I try to remind myself of this every day.
How do you personally try to find balance in your life?
I try to set clear working hours, and after that, I spend time with family or hobbies.
That is a great habit. Do you also save money regularly?
Yes, I try to save a small amount every month, even if it is not a lot.
That is very smart. Saving a little regularly can add up over time.
Exactly. I always say small steps lead to big results.
That is a wonderful quote. I will remember that too.
What about you? How do you find balance in your daily life?
I try to separate my work time and my personal time clearly.
That sounds very healthy.
Yes, and I also try to spend money on experiences, like we talked about earlier.
That connects perfectly with our earlier conversation.
Yes, everything in this topic seems to connect together.
I agree. Money, happiness, balance, and relationships are all connected.
This has been such a rich and meaningful conversation today.
Yes, I have really enjoyed this discussion.
Let's talk about priorities now. What are your top priorities in life, besides money?
That is a deep question. I would say family, health, and personal growth.
Those are wonderful priorities. Can you tell us more about personal growth?
Sure. For me, personal growth means learning new things and becoming a better person every day.
I really like that idea. Learning English, for example, is a form of personal growth.
Exactly. Our listeners are already doing this by watching our podcast.
That is a great point. Learning does not always cost a lot of money, but it can bring great value.
Yes, knowledge and skills can open many doors in life.
I agree completely. What about you? Do you think education is more valuable than money?
I think they work together. Education can help us earn money in a smart and sustainable way.
That is a wise answer. Let's talk about skills for a moment. Do you think skills are more important than money itself?
I believe so. If you have good skills, you can always find ways to earn money.
That makes sense. Skills are like tools that help us build a better future.
Exactly. Money can disappear, but skills and knowledge usually stay with us.
That is a very powerful idea.
Yes, This is why continuous learning is so important in life.
I completely agree. Our listeners are building valuable skills right now just by learning English.
That is true. English can open doors to new jobs, new friends, and new opportunities.
Exactly. So in a way, this podcast is helping build a better future for our listeners.
I love that thought. Learning is truly an investment in ourselves.
Yes, and unlike material things, this investment cannot be lost or stolen.
That is a beautiful way to end this part of our discussion.
Let's move to talk about gratitude now. Do you think gratitude affects happiness?
Yes, absolutely. I believe gratitude is one of the biggest keys to happiness.
Can you explain more about that?
Sure. When we feel thankful for what we already have, we usually feel more satisfied.
That is very true. Sometimes we forget to appreciate the good things in our life.
Yes, we often focus on what we don't have instead of what we do have.
That is such an important reminder.
I try to practice gratitude every morning. I think about 3 things I am thankful for.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful habit. What are you thankful for today?
Today, I am thankful for good health, my family, and this wonderful conversation with you.
That is so sweet. I'm also thankful for our listeners who support this channel.
Yes, thank you so much to everyone who is watching or listening today.
Let's talk about how different countries and cultures view money and happiness.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. Do you think culture affects our idea of happiness?
Yes, definitely. In some cultures, family and community are seen as more important than personal wealth.
That is very interesting. Can you give an example?
Sure. In many Asian cultures, spending time with family is often valued more than buying expensive things.
That sounds true. I have noticed this in my own family too.
In some Western cultures, personal achievement and independence are often highly valued.
I see. So happiness can look different depending on where you grow up.
Exactly. There is no single correct answer to what makes people happy.
That is a very open-minded way to think about this topic.
Yes, I believe it is important to respect different views on happiness and money.
I agree. What matters most is finding what truly makes each of us happy.
That is a perfect way to summarize this idea.
Let's also talk about simple pleasures. Do you enjoy simple things in life?
Yes, very much. I love drinking a warm cup of tea in the morning.
That sounds so peaceful. I love walking outside when the weather is nice.
That sounds lovely too. These simple pleasures do not cost much money at all.
Exactly. Sometimes the best things in life truly are free or very cheap.
I completely agree. A beautiful sunset, a good conversation, or a warm meal with family.
Yes, these things bring so much joy without needing a lot of money.
This is such an important reminder for all of us.
I think our listeners will really connect with this idea.
I hope so too. Let's remind our listeners once again, what about you?
Yes. What simple pleasures make you happy? Please share in the comments below.
We would love to read your answers and learn about your happy moments.
This conversation has really made me think deeply about my own life.
Me too, Nora. This has been such a meaningful discussion. Before we finish, let's review the important vocabulary we learned today.
Great idea. Let's help our listeners remember these useful words.
The first word was wealthy, which means having a lot of money.
The second word was broke, which means having no money, usually for a short time.
The third word was satisfied, which means feeling happy because something is enough.
The fourth word was materialistic, which describes someone who cares too much about money and things.
We also learned the word budget, which means a plan for how to spend and save money.
And we practiced 2 important idioms, money can't buy happiness and live within your means.
Yes, and we practiced comparatives like richer, happier, and more satisfied.
We also practiced conditional sentences, like, if I had more money, I would.
And we talked about regular and irregular verbs like saved, spent, won, bought, and lost.
That was a lot of useful English today. I feel like I learned a lot too.
Me too. I hope our listeners write these words and sentences in their notebooks.
Yes, practice is very important. Try to use these words in your own sentences today.
That is a great way to remember new vocabulary and grammar.
I am sure our listeners are becoming more confident in English every day.
Absolutely. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking English every day.
Yes, consistency is the key to improving any language.
So, Nora, after this whole conversation, what is your final answer? Is money enough to make us happy?
I think my final answer is money is important, but it is not enough by itself.
I agree with you completely. Money can give us safety, comfort, and freedom from stress.
Yes, but true happiness also needs love, health, purpose, gratitude, and good relationships.
That is a beautiful and honest answer.
Thank you. What is your final answer?
I believe money is a tool that can support happiness, but it cannot create happiness alone.
I love that idea. A tool can help build something beautiful, but it needs our effort and our heart too.
Exactly. Real happiness comes from a mix of many things, and money is just one small part of it.
This has truly been a wonderful conversation about a very important topic.
Yes, I hope everyone watching or listening today learned something valuable.
I hope so too. Please remember to think about your own priorities and your own happiness.
And please continue practicing your English every single day.
Yes, small, consistent steps will help you improve a lot over time.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Yes, and please share this episode with a friend who is also learning English.
Also, don't forget to write your answers in the comments. We really love reading them.
Yes, your comments make our community even stronger.
Today was a lot of fun.
I enjoyed our conversation today.
Thank you everyone for listening.
See you in the next episode.
Goodbye everyone.
Bye.